This guy is definitely a character. He has a resume of resumes, and we're going to bring him on. He'll be making his debut January 29th at BKFC Fight Night Jackson against Eric Thompson.
That's
My
right.
name is Jeremiah Riggs, Big Rig himself, and we're going to get him on here, and we're going to get to know this guy a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
What is going on, my friend?
Breaking out the vodka for you,
What's
my
up?
friend.
All right. So before we introduce you, listen, everybody knows mission accomplished. The Mike and Mish Show is the place where combat sports meets combat vets. This is a combat vet right here. He was a Ranger in the United States Army, First Ranger Battalion. Thank you for your service, sir, and thank you for coming on the show.
And his father is
Oh,
also a veteran, right?
Yeah.
Sergeant Major?
Sergeant Major, yeah, Sergeant Major Riggs.
That's
Man.
awesome, man. You know what? Hey, when I joined the military 20 years ago, I'm going to be hitting 21 years this coming May. I never in a fucking million years thought that I would ever even sniff the rank of Sergeant Major. But now I just turned 40 years old. I'm a E8, I'm a first sergeant, and unless I retire, I don't think there's anything stopping me from making that rank at some point in my life, which blows my goddamn mind.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Dad's I look up to my dad, man. My dad's he is he is me in another way. He's a decorator. I always fuck with my pops, man. I like to fuck with my dad. I call him private.
Yeah.
But no, real talk. He's decorated. Like I look up to him. He's quite the hand. You know what I'm saying? Very decorated, very very humbled. I really look up to my dad. He's a bad motherfucker for sure.
Listen, he's in what is a rare fraternity there, man.
No doubt.
The guys that were we deployed with I did in 2003 with 2003 with guys that were in Desert Storm. There's not a whole shitload of soldiers out there that were in Desert Storm back in like 91, 92, and then also in Operation Iraqi Freedom in 03, 04. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's he's been in all of them, and he's all the way been back into the Panama days. You know, I mean, his dad's been. I don't know how many tours he's probably had. Probably 8, 9,
Holy
10.
shit.
I don't know, man. He's been everywhere, dude.
I don't doubt that one bit. Seeing with he holding the sergeant major rank and being a badass like himself, I'm sure he was just cruising, man.
Yeah, shout out to Pops, man.
Yeah, shout out to your old man. Thank him for his service as well.
Yeah,
dude,
no
you're making your debut, BKFC, Jackson, Mississippi, against Eric Thompson, but a lot of people should recognize you and should know who you are because, ladies and gentlemen, this guy has a crazy you've done it all, bro. You've done it all. You were a soldier, you deployed with the Rangers, you were a reality TV star on Daisy of Love, you were also on WWE Tough Enough. Were you a bull rider at some point?
I started shortly after Bellator, after I'd fought for Bellator and stuff, but in 2015, I pursued professional rap to present till this.
You still doing it?
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. That's right here behind me. My shirt, Monster Bull, man. That's my brand. That's my my coach up there in Locust Grove. I mean, he answered the call, man, and dude, he's been there. He's had my back since day one. But yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Well, I haven't been able to, since getting into everything, I got to watch getting on bulls course of, as long as I'm under contract and stuff. But yeah, no doubt. Yeah, sure did. I've done it. Man. Still doing
it. So your old man was in the military. You're growing up. You got a dad in the military.
Yeah.
So naturally you go military, but what got you into fighting mixed martial arts? Because you had a 15 fight career. You fought in Bellator. You fought in Strikeforce.
Ultimate Fighter. I was season 7. Yep.
Season 7 Ultimate Fighter. You fought for Empire FC. You fought
Yep.
for a lot. You did a lot, man. Like what sent you down that road?
Man, it's weird for me. I guess you say my journey, unlike others. As I was a kid, I remember like we did a karate class or two, whatever like that. But man, it was just me and a friend, more or less a friend of mine, really, that was getting into it. It was kind of like one of them things where, hey man, I'm gonna go train or you gotta get into this or whatever. And I was just kind of like, well, all right, we was always together. I was like, well, shit, I ain't gonna leave you hanging. Shit, I'm gonna go with you. And so it was kind of more or less like the kind of like the moral support for me of going, hell yeah, I'll go with you, and kind of like that brotherly support going, shit, if you gonna go, I'm gonna go, let's go, let's do this. Me and Tom Corbin, a good friend of mine, everybody knows, at first, I mean, we've in our town or whatever, we've had our reputations for the fight, whatever, out there in the yard and whatnot. But man, it never was something that I was like pursuing. So after training and just going with them, and then we get first amateur fight. You know what I'm saying? Like all that build up. Shit, we both went in there, we won, and it was awesome. It just kept, like, I never, even after that, even after like everything just kind of sunk in, like, holy shit, because it was, I still remember the first one like it was yesterday. I mean, it was just like, wow. Just overwhelmed, like, holy shit, you got to really see something like really put in play to that level or extreme. But after that, really when the dust settled, it was really more or less the people around me. I guess you could say then, I mean, right after that, it was friends, family, fans, just saying, hey man, when's the next one? And I didn't have no answer to that. So it kind of was like, seems like I need to keep looks like I need to keep doing this. It was more people. It just kind of just started.
You had a lot of support,
pushing me. So hell, we just, after that, just met people. Just kind of got in. I kind of got in with the Alabama promotion, and then, dude, it was just kind of, I just let the ball roll from there on out, and from there, I just never took any steps backwards. I kept tried to seek better, seek more attention, seek better coach. If he was going to do it, I was like, well, hey man, worldly involved, I wanted to be well-rounded with anybody I could be.
Right. And you trained with a lot of like the best of the best, right? Didn't you start off with like Frank Shamrock?
Yes.
Then you moved on like down in Mississippi.
Belcher, yeah.
Belcher's there, but you ended up with one of the greatest of all time.
Yep, Hughes and Lawler. So my path, it's pretty been badass, man. Like, as far as leading into this whole deal now, it's like rekindling, and I say rekindling fire or whatever, but it's like saying, you're writing a book or whatever. This is my legacy. So it just, my career has actually been, when I look at it, it's kind of like one of the things I go back and say, what did you want to do when you grow up? Everybody want to be a professional, this or that, right? Man, my dad, it kind of exposed me. It was so weird in a way of when I really sit back and like soak it in. Let's just say that, on going back to just say a little bit of my childhood that I remember. Man, it was football, it was baseball, it was WWE, military, law enforcement, just all that stuff. But then, it's kind of like, what'd you want to be? I was like, man, I just wanted to be a professional athlete and be a badass at it. I never really had just one set, I'm not saying a one set goal or one set mind. I was just like, dude, look at Deion Sanders, Michael Jordan. I mean, professional baseball, professional basketball. Then you look at their college careers. I was actually, when I went to junior college, and played football, you know, I could have easily played baseball. The only thing was, you know, that does contradict each other. So in a way, so it didn't really get to do. I didn't really get to do it at that level, but still, my whole thing was like, man, you know, I could very easily, and I got the resume. I could go down, especially in Mississippi, your Hall of Fame as being one of the most well-rounded professional athletes. I believe here standing and talking now. And I'm not saying like and where I look at it is like, yeah, you know, I've tried a lot of things, but I've done it. Like, I don't look at, you know, say, the man's, the wins, losses, or the world titles that the man holds, or whatnot. You know, I think sometimes even in our mainstream UFC, sometimes I think that gets overshadowed of the gladiators that are truly walking today. You know.
Go ahead, Mike.
What? So after having those fights and stuff, what pointed you towards trying to go for the Tough Show? Was it training with those guys and they were like, hey, this has got to be happening soon, why don't you sign up for this? Like, what made you do that?
No, so all right, so going, let's go back, just say a little bit before that. Okay, I'll bring you up to speed on that. So going back to Frank Shamrock, like when I first went, you know, at that time, you know, that was the IFL.
Yep.
So a good friend of mine who's just been really helped me out, just even like just the reality shows, like, hey man, it's like signing you up for shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, stop putting my name in the fucking hat, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we would
You
all
don't lose nothing, just put your name in.
Yeah, right. And I take a lot of I don't take a lot of that credit for myself, because I mean, like I say, I always tell him, man, if it really wasn't for him, if it wasn't for like you going, you know, it just really ultimately believing in me, and we just going, hey man, you need to do the Tough Show. So prior to that, he was like leading into that was the whole point of me even going to Frank Shamrock's, getting involved with the IFL. Of course, when I got out there, made the team, whatever, it just went to shit. So after that, really, and I got back towards Mississippi with Belcher, and then, man, it was kind of like, I just felt like it was one of them things that my friends said, hey, dude, this. Just try, like, go. We'll just, you know what I'm saying? We'll buy a fucking plane ticket. Let's do it. What do you got to lose? And I said, yeah, you know, if you're really going to do it, then let's at least see where I stand. So I went into it open-minded, going, man, there ain't nobody tougher than me. There ain't nobody that's just going to outwork me. You're not going to outwork me. You're not going to beat me. But and it didn't really bother me that I'm going against guys. Like, the only thing I knew was technically, I knew I might be behind the curve, but I can't be just, let's see how far about, it was kind of like just the competing, the thing of going, okay, well, we fix and put our skills to the test. Well, I mean, it put it together, I mean, really just went out there, signed up, went out there, did the tryout, and dude, it was a snowball effect. It really ran fast for me then, and I'm almost going to say, jumping forward, it was, when I look back on it now, I wouldn't change anything, but I do help people in their careers look at, sometimes you can be pushed on a fast pace, move too fast, and sometimes you need to really just back up just a little bit. And I think it was good for me in my maturity. It really did, because I never had just say, even in my professional career, whoever I fought, was never nothing picked. I never, these guys were all tough. I mean, a lot of guys went a lot of far places, and it molded me, though. Them guys that were better than me, that did, where I was learning. My experience came so fast, especially when I was in Tough Enough. Man, you got to realize, dude, I'm a college, say, football athlete, a Ranger, stuff like that. I mean, these guys are Division I college wrestlers. I didn't have a fucking clue about wrestling.
Yeah.
Clue. So that was for me. It was really like, okay, hey, you got to put yourself out there. If you're not willing to really just say get out there, roll the dice, you got to be, you're not, a loss isn't a loss if you're winning, bro.
Right.
You
As long as you're learning something from the experience.
Yeah. And in my experience, though, and that's what I say, I harnessed that. I was it's cool because I say it as a pioneer or a journeyman or however you want to look at it, it's kind of like, I've been around so many, like if I really name the list, I could start with Frank Shamrock. I name the list. Dude, my experiences and level of people that I've been around is very, very, very high pace, high quality, just stand up guys. And I've had a very, very, very good career with a lot of them, and leading into now of where my maturity is at. And then it's kind of like, I don't know, man, it's kind of like wine or aging beer. Sometimes it takes a little time putting it on the shelf and letting it all come together.
Yeah.
You actually you trained for a long time with one of my favorite fighters of all time is Robbie Lawler. Like, Robbie Lawler is a fucking god in MMA to me. I think he's one of my top 5 favorite fighters of all time, and the fact that you could throw his name in there as one of your own trading partners. So
man, and dude, yeah, and man, you talk about just pure athlete, strong, just meant. And that's Coach. I'll throw this. Mark Fiore.
Yep.
His biggest thing's iron sharpens iron, and man, the team that we were able to put together. I'm big on that structure. Coming from these gyms, I think it's built me into where I'm at, even in my life, lifestyle, what I do personally. I'm big on team, man. Because I think some people don't give credit where credit's due. I'm not saying that, you just say like right now, it's focused on me, but it's not, but what got me to where I'm at was a team of people that I surrounded myself with, or that I was really lucky enough to be surrounded by them as a whole. It's like, just say Robbie. Dude, that's, oh man. I've slept on the man's couch. We're close. These guys are really close people to me.
That's awesome.
So it was more than these guys are just really, it's not just, hey, Jeremiah, Riggs has trained with Matt Hewer. I've trained with Belcher and Brian Foster. All these guys, man. No, man. Like I've slept on their couches. Like I've held their kids. Like it's family, and I've been so lucky to be a part of a family. That's badass of the family. Hell, Pat Milledge, dude. I've been all the way to Iowa. Tim Seal. Jens Pulver. Dude, had his wife fucking cook the baddest Thai food I've ever eaten in my life. So these people have really been a big meaning in my life.
You know what it is, and maybe you can agree with this. And we've talked to other military people that have gone into the fight game. It's the closest thing to the brotherhood camaraderie that you get when you're with your platoon or your squad or whatever, and you feel so tight with the brothers around you. We talked to Keith Richardson, who is an MMA veteran. Keith said when he got out of the military, he was in a bad way and he needed something, and then he found the gym, and then he started training, and the tightness of that he built with the group around him in that gym was the closest thing that he had to his time in the service. And
I believe that.
Yeah.
I think it's a draw to me. I'm big on energy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a draw on energy. Even just with us three, I could, it's a drawn energy that you guys have for the sport, for the guy, the brand, the man that you're talking to, all that. It's very, very cool. And I think that's what it is too, the camaraderie, patriotism. I get just standing up for something of your own belief.
Mm-hmm.
And then knowing that you got a brother beside you, behind you, in front of you, it really is that has your back, and more than that.
Right.
For me, it always has been that way. Any of these guys, and I could just go through the whole list. They know, like, straight up, man. If any of them called Jeremiah Riggs, dude, they already know
You're on your way.
Oh yeah, oh no doubt, no doubt.
Nah, I love that, man. Now you talk about energy. You said something earlier. Actually, we had Alan Belcher on last week, and you said something earlier that was so similar to him. And it's funny because you guys have trained together. You guys are both from Mississippi. You're both Southern boys. He talked about when he first got into the UFC, he was pushed too fast, but he wanted that title, you know what I mean? And like you said earlier, sometimes you get pushed in a certain direction and you don't realize you're moving a little too quick you need to step back and, like, dial it back a little bit and plan things out a little more. And he said that now that he's older, now he knows he can like plan his attack, and he doesn't have to be fighting for a title every fucking time he goes out there, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I'll say, and I'm sure if Alan's listening, he'll know. Me and Alan's got a pretty special relationship. It's really I guess they're parallel to anything quite with anybody else. A lot of people don't don't realize, me and him go really, really way back. Like, even to say the beginning. I mean, really far back, and there's always been a type of energy, even that I can remember in a part of my career and his career where we both were totally in the same just fight game, but totally separate, not around each other like we were, or training. I was at the hit squad, blah blah. He's at
you guys are on parallel paths.
Yeah, same thing, but it was always a crazy moment. I would text him, or he would text. It was something. It was always, we would go like this and then go like this. Go like, it was all, we was always crossing each other's paths. So,
yeah.
I mentioned something to him the other day. I was like, we were talking or something around each other, and I was like, damn. You're talking about, even saying, getting put on the shelf, or things that's happened in our lives that's, we just kind of just say out of the fight game, right? And I was like, damn, man. I said, I think we actually both, prior to our training, our fights back, our warm-up fight, or whatever you want to talk, prior to being in, we were about tit for tat on how long we were both out at the same time. And it was funny because I'm at a bull riding in Chillicothe, Missouri. This was last year, whatever. And me and Alan got on this conversation. I'll never forget it. We just come out of I think we were just eating at a restaurant. So we're on the phone, dude, and we're just chopping it up. And it was just like, bro, it was bare knuckle coming up, and then I was already on the verge of kind of doing something, blah 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 blah, and it was just bad. It just started snowballing, bro. It just started snowballing, and it was so wild. Of, hey, look, here we are here. This is bam, and I was like, bro, I've always had his back. It's so awesome now to see, to where even his debut, to where I've helped him in his camp. Now he's helping me in mine, and now we've manifested all this together, and we get to, like, really say, man, we're going to put a blueprint on this. We're documenting this. We're going to put a blueprint on this and everybody we're doing, because, with our lives and where we've been, and even like him, Thailand, and just the world as in a fighter, dude. We got a pretty badass story, man.
I'm telling you right now, like you were saying it earlier, and you were trying to, like, describe me like pioneer or a journeyman, more like Renaissance man, like modern day Renaissance man. This guy was on like a reality show on VH1. Like, how the hell do you even get on that? You're on the Tough Enough House. You're on the Ultimate Fighter. You're you're driving truck at some point in your life. You're riding bulls at one point in your life.
Yep.
You're in 1st Battalion, freaking Army Ranger, which we're not even really getting into that.
Right.
People don't understand
And
what
now,
it's like to make it through
It's
Ranger
Knuckle.
school
Yes.
alone. Just to make it through Ranger school alone is a feat in itself that not a
Mhm.
lot of people can make it through. My brother was a Ranger, so big shout out to you, and like
Yeah,
you guys are fucking
to him
badass.
too. Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, so it was Alan that drew you to Bare Knuckle. Was it Alan that said, "Hey, maybe you should come do this"?
Yeah. Well, so like before in me and Alan had talked, I'm gonna tell you this. This is actually the first and I really so going back to Ultimate Fighter C7, Juanito, our boxing coach, Rampage's,
Yep.
was his box coach for just so many years. Dude, he really took me under his wing, and it's so. This is another one of them relationships I have with somebody going that far back, right? Man, we don't talk. I mean, and he'll tell you like, "Hey, man, we don't talk like every day, every month. We might talk once, twice a year, but it's it's just so camaraderie, whatever." And I've always had like a lot of respect for that guy. And I mean, I've been it's almost been like literally been thinking about that man and saying, "Man, I really wish I know how." And we got each other. Bing, we texting each other, right? Well. So 3 years ago, I want to always say 2 or 3, but I think it was about 3 years ago when Bare Knuckle really started just say making their wrinkle.
Yeah.
My Alan Cersei, which was with ATO around the Octagon at the time, he helped do a lot of my managing agency. And well, we had talked. It was kind of come up, what about, but nothing. It was just skimming. I mean, nothing like no talks of this shit or nothing. But just have you seen that? Yeah, no, that's crazy. I mean, and we all knew Mark, Fjord, all of us. We even talked like, "Hey, man, that's you, motherfucker." And I've always like, yeah, I could see that, whatever. Well, I'll never forget this. I'm sleeping. It's 7. I know it had to been like 7 o'clock that morning. It was weird. It was kind of like just on my mind or something. And no shit, I wake up to ding. I roll over. I pick up my phone. I look down at my phone and London, England, bare knuckle boxing. You interested? I'm
BKB.
Oh, look, I didn't look. I'm over here like this, one eyed. Like I set up real quick. Like, fuck yeah, money sign, quit, handle it. And it was Juanito. So that actually was the first thing that really sparked it up. And man, I just kind of let them do whatever. And man, it was really it went on for about 2 weeks. They tried to get whatever they tried to get, and it was just as simple as it was that text that morning. It was as simple as, "Hey kid, it ain't worth it. God bless.
Yeah.
Carry on." And and I never even, we haven't even still today talked about
Since
that
then.
other than like, I mean, I've always been like, "What was the figure, man?" But the thing about it was, it really wasn't that. I knew that man wasn't texting me out of the blue like that for and what it got to me was like, man, a guy of that caliber texts you about that meant a lot to me. Going,
Yeah.
you don't just text somebody going, "Hey man, you want to fucking bare knuckle," at that caliber of where he's training and the people that he's around. So to me, it really just, I ain't gonna say it lit a fire, but I just started, man, it was just in my mind. It was in my mind. I couldn't get out of it. But
Couldn't
I didn't
stop thinking about it.
Yeah, but I didn't pursue it, man. I just kind of just whatever. Well, prior to the conversation with me and Alan, it just kind of, that kind of come up going, "Hey, I was asked to do this about 2 years, no, for real." And then that kind of and say, "Man, I think you'd be a good look for it. Come train." So, like I said, bam, bam,
Hook back up with Alan.
man, and dude, it was just like it was better because I mean, from where our paths have met and been, and now we circulate it back around to our kind of picking it back up, but even more knowledgeable. You know, me bringing in something like what bringing in something that I've got. And then mixing it in with him, and then oh, dude, it's just been pretty gnarly, you know.
It's really awesome, man. You have a great story. You're fighting Eric Thompson. What weight class is your fight at in Jackson? What,
It's going to be
185?
it's going to be 175. So that'd be
175.
middleweight. Yep.
Okay, 175. So there you go. Another name, another contender in the 175-pound weight class. You got some really good fighters up in there, man. You got Julian Lane and Tiago Alves and
Hey, you
Brutal
know who I'm
Bostwick.
really pumped to see? I'll throw this out there for Quentin Henry.
Yeah, Quentin's
Quentin
awesome.
Henry.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Quentin's a beast.
It was cool because watching Bare Knuckle. You know, I got to watch his fight against Fish Hook and at Allen's deal, and there he is, Quentin. And so I want to give a shout out to him. But it was cool because, you know, I come a fan of him pretty quick. I was like, dude, I like that guy's style, man. You know, I was like, yeah, I like his demeanor. I like what he's representing. It was just like a good energy, and I was in the back, and of course, you know, I didn't, you know, I was like, I'm gonna meet him. I'll meet him soon. But it was pretty cool. Hearing something, you know, just saying, you know, going into everything, bringing up the fight, you know, he had said something on Facebook, requiring me. He's saying, you know, someone said something about, you know, me or whatever, and he goes, you know, who the fuck don't know who Jeremiah Riggs is in the South when it comes to fighting? And to me, that really meant a lot, hearing guys like that I've done kind of been like, man, I'm a fan of this guy. You know, I want to meet this guy, and then them like really the respect and the kind of like that, you know, the camaraderie, the honor, you know, that's a lot of integrity, but it also goes back to, you know, when I'm thinking here in my fight and my mental, it's like, you know, you damn right, dude. You know, I have put that work in. You know, I have run up the ranks. You know, I've I've fought for that freedom that we all want to live in the red, white, and blue, and everything. And it goes a lot more than that. But just with that saying, dude, it's always like, yeah, you know.
Man.
And this going into that, you know, even just I'd even just saying with Eric, you know, the fight with Eric, dude, I'm like really, really excited that um that fight's happening. And it's kind of weird because, you know, going in a backstory with him and just going, hey man, giving him props. You know, we were around each other. A lot of people's asked me, do you know him? I'm like, yeah, I know him. I don't know him, but I know him. Like, I've actually watched him in his career. You know, Eric's had a big career. And I remember him back from some of my very early amateur careers, even into my very first pro career, being around Melvin Gillard and all them guys. You know, some of my earlier fights were down in New Orleans. Back with Charlie Rader, you know, he was on Ultimate Fighter. A lot of New Orleans guys. So it was kind of funny. You know, I was kind of like, wow, you know, when Eric's name came, I was like, that's gonna be fun, man. Like that's respected, a good veteran of the sport. I mean, dude, dangerous guy. I mean, this motherfucker,
He's
don't.
definitely gonna come out there and start
Yeah,
swinging for the
coming out
fences.
swinging.
He's that type of guy.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a good fit for either one of us. You know, I know what there's no doubt. I mean, we just seen each other last August, man, at the tournament down here in Biloxi, and
Nice.
I walked. What's up, Eric? What's up, man? You know, it was funny. You know,
Now all of a sudden you're fighting each other.
and then I honestly, not saying it, but I kind of was like, you know, I could see me and Eric having a really good turnout. You know, I was thinking about that watching. You know, I knew he watched. You know, he was pulling for me in the tournament. I was pulling for him, but just watching the style, I was like, yeah, that would be fun. And then, lo and behold, I'm going, fuck. how does it? Whatever, let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
Yep. All
Now-
roads lead to here.
All road
Yep.
lead to Jackson.
January
That's what I'm talking about,
29th.
That's
man.
right. That's how cool is that?
It's fucking awesome. All right, so we're gonna do something with you because you are a crazy man. You got a crazy backstory. We're gonna ask you 5 quick questions, and we're gonna let you get up out of here because we got one more guest for the evening after you. Speed round with Jeremiah Riggs. Our first question for you is: what is the craziest behind the scenes story from Days of Your Love? Can you even tell them?
I'm trying to. I mean,
I know it was a long time ago, but that had to be. There had to be some crazy shit going on, man.
Man, there was some crazy. I mean, just
even the silly, maybe even the funniest thing.
Yeah,
you saw.
I mean, some of the funniest shit. What was really crazy was really the behind the scenes of like the fighting and the shit that just say that they didn't show or motherfuckers just getting plastered ass fucked up. And
I can
mean,
imagine.
you got to think about it, dude. We were all kind of crazy fucked up in our own ways, but it was really funny to see, I guess, how dramatic a bunch of guys could be.
Yep.
And to me, that
when
was
you're locked up in a house.
the scenes. I wish they would show more behind the scenes because it's kind of hard to really say. Like, they would probably have to show the shit on HBO though.
There you go. It couldn't be on VH1, at least, but not back then. Number 2.
Are you Eskimo Brothers with Bret Michaels, Tommy Lee, and Dave Navarro?
No, I'm not gonna say I am. I might be close.
All right, we had to ask that question.
Yeah.
Number 3, what is something you wish you would have done but never got a chance to do? I know you've done a whole shitload of stuff, but what's something that you always wanted to do but you never got a chance to do?
Man, I guess if I was gonna say do something right now, I haven't I ain't linked up with the Nitro Circus yet.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Or the Jackass Boys.
The Jackass
5. What do you
I'm gonna
think?
be honest with you, bro. Them. Like I would. That would be something that I would really totally love to link up with.
Oh yeah.
Them two would be a top list for sure.
That's a
That'd be
fucking
awesome.
great answer.
Yeah.
Number 4.
If you aren't fighting, trucking, bull riding, popping up on reality TV or pro wrestling, what would we find you doing?
Man, you're probably gonna find me. Honestly, man, I'm gonna be with some cows. I'm gonna be doing something. Yeah,
protecting them from the coyotes and the wolves.
Being with my girls. I got 2 little girls. I'm usually with them or with my pets, my dogs or something.
Nice.
I kind of really just
living that Yellowstone life or what?
Yeah. I really I try to soak that in as much as possible with the animals and stuff like that, or just really I'll be honest with you, man. I give my time. I try to give my time as much time as possible. Time's very valuable. If I could say what would you find me doing, I would really say I'd probably be giving my time and effort to helping somebody out, be a better person or have something better for them, and not so much as why I'm doing it, because it ain't gonna make me no better than what I am.
It's outstanding, man. Last question for you. What is something that you learned when you were with Matt Hughes, when those guys? What's something that you learned from them that has stuck with you forever?
Pride is a thing that you shouldn't really would say have or wear on your shoulder. And in that case of what I'm saying, that is coming from that team, you can get or be very humbled very quickly. Yeah. And something that I've always took away from that is your team does matter. And the people that you surround yourself around, that's and I'm going in this is saying, and it's what I've learned from wrestling with Matt and Zim, is in your team, it's all about your base, man. You got to have a good base.
Yeah.
And I think that from coming from the Hit Squad, man, it gave me such a good base, a core that I am, that I've carried on with me even now. and a lot of success, you know. So that I would say that would be probably my number one thing coming out of his squad.
Awesome, man.
Outstanding. Now, January 29th, you got a prediction for us before we let you go?
Man, I'd like to see. I'm thinking something's going. I'd like to see me drop him in the second round, man.
There you go.
And what I'm trying to really put together some really good things. I've had some really good mentals and visuals, and I would really like. I've always said this in any of my fights, man. You know, and look at anything, no matter how many round, whatever fight it is. You know, I got 5 rounds here, and what I really want to showcase is that level of maturity and the skills that I have accomplished in the years that I've actually been putting this together. And I think
it all leads to this.
Oh man, and the fear, just the happiness, the freedom that I guess you could say I'm enduring now in my life is just so much on another level. I believe it's going to show in the ring, and my flow will it'll just be like water pouring all over somebody, man.
All right, man. I love it.
We like to hear.
All right, everybody, go ahead and follow Jeremiah Riggs. His social medias are at the bottom this whole time. Thank you so much for coming on here, man. You've been around for a long time. You've done a lot of things. It's an honor talking to you tonight, and we can't wait to see you on January 29th.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, dude. And like I said, I'd love to do it again. We'll have to catch up another time, definitely maybe after the fight, and see what's going on. Like I said, I'm looking for big things to come, very, very big. So be looking for more of me for sure. And like I said, the opportunity that you've given, and especially for everybody else, man, we appreciate you guys as well.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and we will definitely catch up down the road for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you guys.
All right, man.
Take it easy.
Take care.
See you.